Welcome back. My top 5 most anticipated releases for 2026. None of these are actually confirmed as such. There's no release date as far as I'm aware. If you know any different, then please let me know. But this is just speculative, really. These are just albums that I'm really hoping come out in 2026. So, let's go. Starting off with a pretty obvious one, the Prodigy. The Prodigy's last album, No Tourist, was in 2018. There's often large gaps between Prodigy albums, but that'll be 8 years since the last album. That is crazy. Of course, there is the incredibly tragic death of this guy to bear in mind. So it's no surprise that it's taken a while to put anything together. But there have been little teasers throughout the years. I saw them live this year. They're very active. But we've had no real substantial, here's a 30-second clip of a new song, nothing proper. And it's been a long time, Liam. We're all waiting. I honestly don't know how it's going to sound when it comes out, because there's been a huge fundamental change to the Prodigy. And I don't know if it's going to be more like Always Outnumbered, Never Outgunned, where Liam was more kind of working on his own without Maxim or Keith's input. But I feel like it would kind of need to be a bit of a tribute to Keith. Either way, this is basically the number one that I'm anticipating for obvious reasons. This next one is a bit of a curveball and an artist I haven't actually mentioned on this channel before. Jamiroquai. Only a fool could walk away from me. Jamiroquai's last album, Automaton, was in 2017. That's even longer ago. And this one is a little less speculative. Jay has been on making YouTube shorts and stuff saying, look, we're in the studio, look what we're doing. But again, we haven't heard anything substantial. The last album I really liked. I've been a huge Jamiroquai fan my whole life. The last one, Automaton, was quite electronic. The most electronic album of theirs, by far. From what little I've seen, this next one might be a bit more rocky. We'll have to see. But this one, I cannot wait. And actually, weird coincidence, today, as I'm recording this, a friend of mine is on her way right now, currently, to go see Jamiroquai in London, I believe. So that's nice for her. Again, you might be surprised to hear that I like Jamiroquai, but I really do. They've been part of my life for much longer than most artists I've spoken about on this channel. But they don't really fit in with a lot of the artists that I speak about on this channel, which I think is why I've not mentioned them before. But I love Jamiroquai. If you do as well, let me know in the comments. I don't think Jamiroquai have released a single bad album. Rock Dust Light Star was slightly meh, but only slightly. Everything else is flawless. I'm expecting this next one that I think is going to be coming out in 2026 to be flawless as well. Yeah, here's hoping. Another one which is probably quite obvious. Korn. Korn's last album, Requiem, was in 2022. The 2020s have just flown by, haven't they? A lot of people were a bit disappointed with Requiem. I wasn't. I was really satisfied with it. The string of albums that they've had since 2013, Paradigm Shift, Serenity of Suffering, The Nothing, and then Requiem, I was so hyped every time and not disappointed any time. I'm hoping that I won't be disappointed with Korn's 15th album. That's crazy. On Requiem, they were recording stuff to tape rather than fully digital, which is nice. And apparently they're doing the same again, which should also be nice. I'm not really expecting any surprises from Korn at this point. They've kind of, I wouldn't say painted themselves into a corner, but they started off with their very recognizable sound. They messed around for a bit, for basically a whole decade, and now they're back to that sound again. And I don't really see them changing from that sound again. The consistency of the last 4 albums, I'm very happy with. And I'm just anticipating, being the key word, that this next album will be a hoot. The next one is very speculative on my part. but it's because there was one single song released a few months ago that was like, whoa, what the hell, new song? Which is Limp Bizkit. Unfortunately, after that song was released, maybe a month after or something, Sam Rivers passed away, the bass player. So I don't know how that's going to affect things. As far as I'm aware, they haven't even mentioned that they're working on a new album per se. It was just that one song. But I feel like it was very well received, which should be encouraging for them. Maybe they will make another album, and their last one, Still Sucks, was in 2021. I cannot believe that. It feels so much more recent than that. Again, the 2020 is just... Yeah, new bass player. That's going to be weird. And I don't really see anyone replacing Sam properly. I think drummers and bass players are the two easiest members to replace in a band, generally speaking. But Sam was such an integral part of Limp Bizkit. I can't think of another bass player to replace him with. Maybe Ryan from Mudvayne, but they're also releasing an album in 2026, I believe, but they're not in this list, because I'm honestly not that excited about it. But yeah, Limp Bizkit, please give us a new album. We want you to come back again, and we wish you'd never left. Okay, and the last one that I'm really speculating about is Wargasm. I saw Wargasm this year as well. That was quite a fun experience. And they only have one album, because they're by far the most recent band in this list. Their only album, Venom, came out in 2023. That's not too long ago, but they have released quite a few songs and music videos since the release of that album, and they're all really good, in my opinion. They're kind of better than anything that was on Venom, so if they are planning to release a new album, I'm going to be very excited about that, because I was super excited about Venom. I believe they are quite busy, you know, touring. I mean, like I said, I saw them earlier this year, but the touring season is kind of coming to an end around now. You know, usually that's summer and then a little bit after summer in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, obviously, I cannot wait for the next Wargasm album. Hopefully 2026. Again, here's hoping. So these aren't just the only albums that I'm aware of that are coming out in 2026. These are just the ones that I am the most hyped for. I couldn't really think of any others that reach the same peak of hypeness as these. What would your top 5 be? What albums have you been made aware of that are coming out that you think I might like? I'd be curious to hear your suggestions on that one. But yeah, that was it. Just a quick little end of year video. I'm hoping this wonderful festive period is finding you well. If you're new to the channel, then consider subscribing, and if you're already subscribed, then thank you for being here. If you wish, you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee, and I also have a merch store. But I still have not thought of how to end videos yet, so I'm just going to say, go away.